Today on the Tim Marner podcast show, I've got our Andy Woodward. I don't know how to explain, Andy, what you do, and we can't explain it. Truth seeker.
Yeah, that's part of it, yeah.
And you're going to be setting up something pretty soon, I think.
Yeah.
That's going to help a lot of people out, mate.
Yeah, I think that the big thing is in life it's like the world is a circle. And you always talk about holistic solutions or circular or 360.
Yeah.
I've done a 360. And that's pretty much me. I'm the full circle.
I don't know where to start because I've got no clue about you. And it was our Dan, Big Dan told me to get you on. And I've purposely not researched you because I wanted this to flow because I've got no clue what's gone on and why you're here. And I'm all right with that.
Yeah.
But where do I start? What do I start?
I think everybody's, well, you don't know, so there's a bit of a truth at the start. And I like to do a backstory first because where I am now, I shouldn't be sat here opposite you glowing and feeling good.
Right.
But as I saw your receptionist before and she was intrigued, wanting to know. It started before I was born. And I didn't know this, and we talk about past lives and we sign up for this. And I didn't really know that existed, but I do now. But it started before I was born. 1971, my mum was one of 11 in Burnage in Manchester. And one dark night, her sister was 9 months pregnant, walking down Kingsway, and she got grabbed into a back garden, 9 months pregnant, and brutally murdered. I mean, brutal. It was a massive case in Manchester, and subsequently the detective was from a really good detective, and he found the perpetrator, and he was Ronald Bennell. He got sent to prison, and then throughout my childhood, but obviously my mum was traumatised, and my dad was, because they were soulmates. And they protected me right the way through. My childhood was brilliant, so protected and wouldn't let me go down the road. Until I was 10 when I was like, my gift was football. It was in me. It was in my DNA to be a footballer. Now I know that was my path. I was always going to go down it. And then at 10, I got spotted by a coach, and that coach was a man called Barry Bennell, a well-known coach around Manchester City. He'd had other clubs like, Senrab, etc. And then he asked my mum and dad, a team that he's developing. And I started training there. Within a few weeks, he was into my parents, grooming them. And then he said, can he come stay at my house? My parents, being protective, they were obviously, whoa. But he was a Pied Piper. He'd already done this for years before, many kids, so he knew exactly what he was doing. He went for the vulnerable parents, vulnerable child. I was quite soft because my parents were so protective, and I started staying at his house, and that's where my life changed forever. Because from that onwards, I was subsequently raped for 6 years.
6 years?
6 years solid. Every night. You name it. And what he did is he chose just a couple of players. And a lot of the viewers will know this, and they know my story, know my backstory. But that was his power. That was a position of trust, a position of power. And that's what they do. And I was just a boy, age 10, right the way through. But what he had a tendency to do with his MO is he'd also infiltrate a daughter, because he'd looked to see if there was a daughter. And he would ask the daughter to come and clean or do something or get involved with the family, and he did with ours. And lo and behold, he got my sister, started cleaning. When I was age 13, he pulled me down the side at Butlins. Bear in mind, I'm getting raped every day. And he said, we're more than friends. If you say anything, I will kill you. And he had this in the persona around everybody else. He was a Pied Piper. Everybody loved him. He had curly hair, dark skin. He had the typical, you name it. But his eyes, when he went, he used to stick his tongue out, and the fear in me was just immense. So I never said a word. He went on to marry my sister and have 2 children with her.
What the fuck?
Yeah, what the fuck? It is what the fuck. So that defined my life. And when we say about children, from the age of 10, I had recollection of that. They say from the age of 4, that sort of age, you know something's happened, but it defines your life because you end up being an empath. You end up being a loving person. You end up migrating to narcissist, etc. But at 10, you have that recall. So I always had this recall. But I wanted to be a footballer. It was everything to me. Everything. So I did that. I managed to do it. Don't know how. You know, I didn't have any panic attacks then as a young footballer, but I went right through it. I fought, and I knew of several other players that he used to touch. He was touching them all. You know, we went to a haunted house. It was a free-for-all. But for me, it was deep, dark. And I was in the darkest hole as a kid. Yet I learned to put that mask on. So everybody else thought I was okay. I went quieter, people say, you know, at school and in football. But I didn't know what the heck was going on. You know, I got to 17. I didn't know if it was gay, if it was straight, women. And, you know, I was questioning all that. But I was still trying to be a footballer. Nobody knew. You know, in the dressing room as an adult, I was like covering myself up and towels and, oh shit, I don't want people to see me. And, you know, all of those problems that you have. But in football, it's fucking mega. Everybody knows, you know, football, rugby, you know, the man's sport, but I just worked out a way of just putting that mask on. So my football career was, I continue with it. And like relationships wise, you know, lo and behold, my path of life. Married at 19, had a kid at 18, moved out, you know, had my own house, started to live.
At 18, does anybody else know?
Nope.
This is all within you.
But
sort of decompartmentalised it.
Yeah. But I was under his spell. And he was with my sister. And I had to go to the wedding. There's a photograph. Honestly, it's like a horror story.
My fucking God.
Honestly, Tim, it's like a fucking horror story. If you saw it, it'd be something you would actually have chills. Because what you see is me there. You see a couple of my colleagues there. You see his best man is the father of the lad that I was with in the bed. That's his best man. And then you've got a group of young players that he is raping at that time, and we're all stood there, smiling for the photograph, and he'd raped my sister as well. It's like, what the fuck? You know, and I've done loads of podcasts, but people really need to know that I am here at 51, and I'll talk some more about how I got through that. But I'm still here. And I'm here for purpose. But through my 20s, I was fucked up. You know, you can imagine.
What's coming out of you in your 20s and stuff? What sort of like, are
Yeah.
narcissistic tendencies coming out? Is a bit anger? Is
Not narcissistic tendencies. What I did is I reached and I saw she's lovely, you know, she's the mother of my eldest son. But I was fooked. You know, I got married, she got pregnant, and I was like, nah. I was running it, and I was a runner. If anything got too much,
for his comfort,
run, poof, yeah, poof. And also, it was like relationship-wise, I didn't know what a relationship was. I mean, my relationship with him was fucking just dark. And my poor mum and dad didn't have a clue, and I was hiding it from them. So I was fucked. So I was like, no, I don't want to be married anymore. I've got a kid there, you know. All right, I'll look after the kid, and I love him, but I'm all over the shop. Then before I know it, straight into another relationship. But this one was narcissist. And I went, oh, I like this. I like this. I can do what I'm told. I'll do everything that I'm told.
Holy shit.
I will do everything. I want a child. Okay. An air stewardess. I'm not working anymore. You will provide for me. You're a footballer. Okay, yeah. I want more children. Okay. So for many years, I was locked in. I mean, me kids, I've got 4 kids with my ex, and they all say to me, Dad, how did you do it? Because that narcissistic tendencies stays with those people. It's darkness.
Yeah.
It's in them. But
their nature.
Oh, yeah. It's still there now. My kids now go, Dad, oh, my energy. Oh.
How the fuck are you still here?
I know, I've not even started
man.
yet, mate. But yeah, so with that, I was like, yes, sir, no, sir. I love this. This is how I'm supposed to live. Carry the bags, buy the car, buy the house, give everything.
How old were you then?
In my 20s, you know. And I was like, but then the pinnacle moment, Tim, was in 1997 and 95, where it all started. But things had got hot for him, Benel. So he's all in the background. So he's having a relationship, getting married to my sister, having 2 kids. So I've got that to juggle with. I've got a narcissist wife with kids, and I'm like going, going out on the football pitch, playing league football, like, you know, I'm going, fucking no. It's all a bit like going on the pitch, thinking about him raping me, and I'm getting flashbacks, you know, as the game's going on. I'm going, what the fuck? Carry on. And I'm still playing, and I'm managing to do that and juggle this and all the shit that comes with kids.
The universe has give you a right one.
Oh, whacking. Yeah, whacking. And then in that as well, I ended up having twin boys. So I've got twins as well in that. Back then I didn't realise it. Now I can laugh about it because of where I'm at now too.
Yeah.
But jeez, come on, what is it? I do now know, but
and then points through then, mate. Have you thought about ending it?
Oh, I'll come to that. Yeah,
okay.
Yeah. So in 95, 97, things get hot for him.
Yeah.
So he grabs my sister and the kids and on a plane to America. So he goes and hides there for a bit because it was getting hot at Crewe, and Crewe knew it, and the clubs knew all this. By the way, they're all Freemasons. They're all part of the fucking bigger picture.
Handshake. Yeah.
Oh yeah, they all knew what was going on. So the Crewe said to him, "Get gone." They were getting letters complaining about Benel. So he goes, comes back. And then he moves and he goes to Stone Dominoes, Stoke, another dark club in history. Wonder why he goes there. Next to Crewe, not far away, still live in the area. Yeah, of course you can. Come to Stoke. And then that's where it got bad for him. Because he goes to America again with a club, with the Stone Dominoes. One of the players comes back because he's doing stuff to him, thinks he's got AIDS. So he speaks out about it. Boom. He gets arrested in America, in Pensacola, and he gets charged. And then he starts writing letters back to players, including me. Give me an affidavit. I need help, I need help, I need help. And guess what I did?
No, you didn't.
I did. And so did many other players.
Because he's got that hold on you.
Because he's still got that hold on me.
Wow.
That's how powerful it was. And I have my sister to think about and the 2 kids. And I'm going, still playing league football, and he's writing to me, and I'm like going, ugh.
Fucking hell, mate, it's got to give me shivers, that.
Fucking what the fuck do I do? I've got to protect my football.
Fucking black magic, man.
Yes.
Voodoo black magic.
Voodoo shit.
Yeah.
That's satanic shit. In the earth, fucking, yes. So did it, and then lo and behold, after that, so what happened then is, because he's over there, he's flying back to the UK. So he's done his sentence, he got fuck all out there, can you believe it? He's flying back, boom, the cops on me, CID, you name it, all over me. Andy, we need to speak to you. It's in the film that I did, BBC, and they can do one. I talked about that. But yeah, like, you're the key. We know something happened. We know something happened. We know something happened. Constantly. I'm playing fucking league football. Leave me alone. Leave me alone. And I started to feel these feelings that I'd never felt before.
Right. It started triggering up, like.
Yeah. And I started to get down. And then I'm starting to think, fucking end this. Get the fuck out. No, I don't want to be on this planet.
Wow.
Like that. Inside. But they wouldn't leave me alone. And then they got to my mum and dad's house, and they turned up out of the blue. And how they
still in your 20s?
Yeah, 28-ish.
Right.
And I don't know how they fucking knew. Did they know, or was it some satanic fucking shit? But they turn up. I'm there. My sister's there. The 2 kids are there. My mum and dad are there, and they caught me right in the middle of that. Right, Andy, we really need to speak to you. We need you to say what happened. Your mum and dad are here, your sister's here, we know what's happened.
Like an intervention kind of thing.
Yeah, it was. It was like and there was 2 detectives, and I'm like, and I'm wobbling inside because I'm thinking, shit. I felt cornered. Do you know when you feel cornered?
Yeah.
And I've got one, and I'm looking, and I looked at my nephew, and he was about 9, 8, and I thought, fuck, what do I do? Because he gets over here.
You're not Forrest Gumping this time.
Yeah, and I've got a 9-year-old there. And his eyes, when he had a boy, was like fucking boof. So it was football, family, I'll go under. And I went under. And I went, fucking blew the whole house up. Everybody's in tears. Because they all still believed that he was innocent. And the next minute, these detectives, bang, straight out the door. We'll be back in 2 minutes. Come back in. Right. Give us a statement now. I was like, fucking what? So I gave pretty much minimal. And it was a catalyst then. So he gets back, he gets arrested, he gets to the trial date. So the motherfucker took it to the trial date and did a plea bargain. Fucking 9 years imprisonment. And I served 4. To this day, all I got was a phone call off the courts. You're not needed. He's pleaded guilty. To this day, even now, I don't know what he was convicted of. I know there's one, potentially, with me. So when I come to what I'd done for humanity, I could have easily gone back in 2016 and blew the roof what he actually did to me. But to this day, and that's all he had, a phone call. I don't know what he was convicted of, nothing. And that was it. And also, those detectives, when they got the statement, they were high-fiving each other. Yes, yes! What about me? Oh, see, Andy, we've done our fucking job. Fucking what? And my sister gave a statement on that day as well, to say that she'd been raped. And guess what, Tim? And guess what? They completely ignored her. To this date, bear in mind my sister also suffered at the hands of him. To this day now, she has never, ever got justice. And the police completely ignored my sister's statement because it was a girl. She has never got justice. So tell me how that is right. Push her away. She doesn't involve in this case.
We don't need it because we've got him.
We've got him for all these boys. Well, she's a human being. She was a child. Never. Not to this day. That's a wrong. So yeah, he got his... Imagine that.
No.
He's fucking...
How the fuck?
That's full on corruption.
Wait, I'm like, what the fuck's going on?
That's full on corruption, isn't it? It's like, well, she's a victim. Oh no, she's alright, she's a girl. Boys brigade here. We'll look after the boys. She don't matter. What? She does matter. She's still not got justice now. She's damaged to the fucking nines from that man. She has to live with knowing that she's got 2 kids with him.
Ooh.
Ugh, yeah. So I mean, that then was a catalyst for my career to go. I went on an 18-month fear. Fear kicked in. They got me.
What do you do? What happened to you after that?
I ended
Obviously, they're I-5 left you.
Yeah.
And then, like,
Yeah,
you
leave
brought
me
this
to-
to service and you got to leave you to it.
Yeah, lead me to it. And I tried, Tim. And there was, initially, it was an offload. And I know now, because I know a lot about the mind. I know a lot about energies. I know a lot about light and dark. I know everything now. But what it was literally that it was waiting to pop. I was waiting to pop. And I ended up doing brilliant at first. I was with Neil Warner. Neil Warner then signed me at Sheffield United. Well, sorry, he went to Sheffield United. And then all of a sudden, one October night, I was at home. The ex was fucking in my face. I mean, listen to this. How can somebody you're married to, when you have a small child, actually turn around to you and say, I don't trust you with my own child, knowing what I'd been through? Whoa, that's a... Yeah. But she was on, and then I went to the Tesco, and I had the biggest panic attack ever, and that was my pop moment. And I ended up with panic disorder. Oh, it was awful. Lost about a few stone in weight. I was gone. And then went to the Priory, and it was a road to recovery, but I never recovered football-wise. That was me done.
When you went to the Priory, what were you drinking to...
No, it wasn't. It was panic attacks.
Right.
But back then, mate, when you 1998, 99, it was unheard of, wasn't it?
Yeah, they think
I didn't know what the fuck. My mum and dad were there, bless them, and they were like, they were blaming my ex and stuff, and I was going, nah, it's everything. But you didn't know what panic attacks were. I didn't. There was only a few books out there, so I was reading books all the time, and I was just locked in the house, and I was having them over and over and over again. I just couldn't stop the cycle. And talk about punishment, that was like fucking horrible. It was horrible. So I went through that, and then my career went, because I ended up at Halifax, and they took 2 years career off, 2 years contract off me, because they went out of the league. They're the only football club in football history to be able to go into administration, go out of the league and reform themselves. So that's why they formed themselves as FC Halifax. Lo and behold, it's my bloody turn, isn't it? That 2 years I had left with them on good money. They just went, I went, fuck football. I had enough. I'm out. So I left. And I always wanted to help people, Tim. Yeah. So it was always, I wanted to give something back to people. So I applied for the fire service, police and prison, and I got in the police. I got in all 3, but my ex was like, that's the one, the most pay. You're having that one. And I went, yeah, okay, I'll do that.
Fucking hell, mate.
I'll do that. So I went in the police, and after 2 years, and in that 2 years, lo and behold, I just said to you before, didn't I, just a couple of rows down here, Peter Morrison used to play for Scunthorpe. And he'd snapped his leg, and I was there to help him, and he knew about what had happened to me as a kid. He said, it's fucking wrong, this, Woody. He said, like, you've lost your career. It's fucking wrong what they did. Go for Crewe. And I'll speak to the solicitor. He spoke to the solicitor just down here, next door but one, and they said, yeah, we've got a case here. It's Crewe's liability. They should have protected you. So I went, great. I just want accountability for what happened to me. So I went through the case, and it wasn't about the money, albeit it was a lot of money. It was a lot of money. Would have set me up for life. And I went through that process. But in that process, again, fucking only happened to me, Tim. The barrister said that we want you to go and see Barry Bennell in prison and ask him to do a statement for you. Talk about fucking, I'm a police officer, and I'm like going, how do I do that? So I asked somebody, and I'm going, what? I'm driving to the prison. It was fucking Garth prison. And I'm going, why am I going to see the man that's fucking raped and pillaged me? And I'm going, right, I need to do it because the reason I need to do it is because I want them bastards crew and I want City done. And I know there's so many more out there that have gone through this. So I'll face it. I went and faced him, and his first words to me were, I still love you. I kid you not, at that second, Tim, at that second, I felt like a 10-year-old again, and he got me. And I was crying, and he knew he'd got me. And he was smiling, he just sat back like that. Okay, I'll do a statement. But lo and behold, later down the line, there was some issue, there was something going on there where he was receiving money from somewhere and someone. Which is fucking wrong. But I didn't know that. So anyway, he gave his statement, and his statement following that was completely opposite to what he told me. And I know that there was a visit straight after I'd been by crew to see him.
What the fuck?
And then I go to court, and it was a 99% chance of winning because all the evidence was there. On the day of the hearing, the judge automatically, for some apparent reason, changed. Different judge. And the barrister said, don't worry, be all right. Oh, no. They had three or four barristers to my one crew, little club. How have they got 4? And I'm shitting myself in the box. I'm getting bombarded with loads of questions. And it was all about how I had applied for the police. And the fact that I'd done a CICA claim and I got £10,000. That's all I've ever got for all the pain I went through. And they said that I didn't fill it in right. And the judge turned around and said, I dismiss this case. Mr. Woodward, and this is how he said it, Mr. Woodward, I want you to go back to being a police officer, and that's what you've set out to do. So go and be a police officer. I was like, you fucking just ruined my life. You've ruined a lot of people's lives because it would have come out then. You bastard. And I was nice, because I am. I took it. I came outside and my dad was in tears, my mum was in tears, and I'm getting a bit emotional because I lost my dad, and they both said, this is wrong. The barrister said in all his career he's never seen anything like it. And to this day now, the solicitor and the barrister, Charles Feeney, said, in history, never known anything quite like it in our lives. I just took it, Tim. So I moved on and I carried on in the police. But when I went to see him in prison, the police dragged me in. I was interviewed under caution, and they actually said to me on tape, and it'll be in a tape somewhere, we will protect you, Andy. We won't put you on any sex cases, and we will look after you. Fucking what? Total opposite. Really? I was put on everything. And it really heated up in 2012 when Gary Speed took his life. Or did he? Big question. I did a magazine article because the journalists were on at my sister. So Andy being Andy again, I'm in the cops. Family, can you help? They're coming after us. Yeah, I'll do the magazine. So I did it. Then the cops knew. And an inspector had to watch the interview, everything that I wrote. Then I was dragged into the main big guns, all around in a table. So Andy, what's all this about? Gary Speed and this death and you? Oh, it was all like that. And it was like the Gestapo. Didn't know at the time, I was frightened to death. You know, being pulled in with the big guns, all sat around a big table. Yeah, the table, the F table. Right, well, what we're going to do, Andy, is we're going to protect you now, and we won't put you on any more cases. We understand it's so bad for you. Oh, great. So inside, I'm thinking, shit, they're going to help me. They're going to protect me. Oh, what? All these files, I was a detective, all these files started to come in, one by one. And guess what they were? COP cases, and COP cases are sexual exploitation operation. So what that is they get all the images and videos, via the web, and then they send files out to divisions, and it goes to a detective. Worst part of it is that file, they do the arrest, they then grab the computers, and then they send it to headquarters.
Oh my God.
And then you have to sit in a booth and watch it. And you got a button, and you have to put it into categories. For 8 hours a day, I was looking at that, and they knew it. Torture. That is fucking torture. And they knew it. And me being me, always empath, worried all the time, don't want to do anything wrong, I just went along with it. I did it. But inside there, you imagine?
No.
Fucking what? What, driving up to Rivington when I'd seen a suicide before, how he did it on his knees, and I'm there. Right, fucking do this. My ex-wife saying, go and kill yourself. And I put my car in a fucking garage and put the pipe in, turn the engine on, while these you-know-whats are putting me in front of paedophilia videos every day, destroying me after all I've been through. And I'm turning the engine on going, come on. No, didn't happen. Then I go to my mum and dad's caravan. All this around this time. I fucking get the washing lines on the cupboard. No, won't happen. Didn't happen. Wouldn't happen.
Oh, Andy, you're killing me here, mate.
Wouldn't happen. It wouldn't happen.
Yeah.
Even how hard I tried.
Someone's got your back here, mate, hasn't it?
Yeah.
You know that, don't you?
Not, I'll think about it. I'll do attention seeking, which I'd done in the past. No. It was. So I know when people are at that point, at that pinnacle point, it's not selfishness. It's just can't do it anymore. Just can't. You've done me. You've got me. Do you know that feeling?
I don't know, mate.
Right. But it's actually surrendering to the dark, and you're actually saying, you've got me.
Enough.
You've got me. Take me. That's deep.
Yeah.
And I'm getting emotional, but that's exactly how it feels. That's one to ponder for people. When people say to others, what about the kids? You want to let them free.
Yeah.
You want to let go. Let them live.
And if you feel like a burden to them.
Yeah. You really do. You've let them down. Everything. They'll be alright. That's the feeling, mate. I've been there.
Through them times and stuff, like, because I know, me and you talk about the spirituality and stuff.
Yeah.
Was there ever a light there, mate? Did you? There was always something there that you thought.
I was always different.
But in them times of your lowest, where you're in the car, when you're putting the thing around your neck, like,
Yeah.
could you feel something there with you?
Yeah. Yeah. There's always an inner voice.
You know.
I've always had an inner voice. I'm where I am right now, sat opposite you. I've always had an inner voice. And like, we're reverting forward here, but when I look back on my life and my path of life and all the bad, it's like the movies that I was so drawn to. I was a Star Wars mad.
Yeah, me too, mate.
I was E.T. mad. I wanted to be that boy. Always.
Yeah.
Whenever they asked me for security stuff, what was your first film? E.T. I was always obsessed with it.
Yeah.
It's like light and dark. You just freaking play with them. I just wanted to be that Luke Skywalker.
Yeah.
It was always in me, that. So it's really, when you really layer that down and deep to our path of life and our journey, that was always my journey.
Yeah, that call to adventure that you've had's a fucking dark one, mate, innit?
Really, really, really dark. You know, and...
But do you look back on it now that it's not happened to you, it's happened for you? Are you at that stage?
I'm getting there, yeah. It's new beginnings, and everybody talks about the new beginnings, 2025 and all of that. But then, you know, the twists that happened around me breaking the story is a story in itself, because the element of them destroying me in the police, they have tactics, they use it. They always say, our team's bigger than your team. They are powerful. And they worked away. They put me on an FLO role, and then it should have been 2 people, and they put me on my own, and then they infiltrated this woman at my most vulnerable state. And others would say, like, well, you're a police officer, you know, you cross the line. Yes, I cross the line. But that's all part of my vulnerability of when I'm at my lowest. I just want some attention, somebody to like me, something to
make you feel safe.
Make me, yes.
Yeah.
That's safety.
Yeah.
And this woman came from nowhere, and she started to stalk me and harass me, and, you know, she was leaving pictures at my I was married, you know, at the house, and, oh, will you meet me, this, that and the other, and I got just sucked into that vortex of darkness, not knowing. When we know, we go, woof, give your head a wobble. But when you're that far deep in that vortex of darkness,
right,
you can't see. You can't see past you like that, scraping. Oh, shit.
Yeah.
And because...
that darkness of that cave has become your home, and you don't know anything else apart from it.
I had nowhere to turn either.
Right.
I didn't trust the police. They'd fucked me over throughout everything. How can I go to a boss? How can I speak to someone? Shit, I'm fucked here. I'm fucked. And then I knew someone from back in my early 20s, and she'd said, oh, shit, you need to get out of this shit. So she posted a photograph on Facebook of me with her. And then this psychopathic, I know now there's more to it, but she then sends me an email and says, watch what happens now. And I'm going, what the fuck, what? I go into work on the Wednesday and I get arrested for rape. Fucking what?
I'm sorry for laughing. This is ridiculous.
For raping, the worst offence anybody could lock me up for fucking battering someone, stabbing someone, chopping someone up. But fucking rape. Fuck's sake. And he took me to the fucking cell, and I'm going, you can't fucking do this. Yeah, I've crossed the line.
What is happening to you?
I've crossed the line, I've sent text messages, I've done, you know, I've got it all. Fucking do it. Sort it fucking out. So then they're like, fucking... It was fucking wrong. And also, bear in mind the arrest has to be necessary and proportionate. They wait till I come into the office with all the other police officers around and fucking lock me up. It was like, fucking what?
It's the worst thing you'll get ever accused for.
Ever. And my empathy goes out for every human being that has suffered that offence. And my empathy also goes for every human being, man or woman, that gets falsely accused of something that is evidentially not true, but can ruin someone's fucking life. You know, and I said to him, take it all, do it. Just fucking, it'll prove itself that I never did anything like that. And I knew I had all that evidence. It was there. It could have been done like that. All you have to do is read phones and get a couple of statements to confirm the whereabouts that you were and the specific elements of it. And you go, fucking... I mean, my mum, my dad, you know, my family. I showed them all and they went, this is totally wrong. No, don't do that to our son. You know, don't do that to you. Fucking, I had friends and family, everybody going, this is fucking wrong. But they put me on bail for 18 fucking months. 18 months. For a simple... It's not simple as in the gratitude of it, but the actual evidence of gathering, there's no forensics, there's no nothing like that. It's two people, but the actual evidence that is in that file that I've got to this day proves 100% that I did not do anything remotely like that. But to trawl me through that for 18 months, they hoped, you know when we have hope, the dark side, they hoped that I'd end it. And boy, they took me there. Think about it, Tim. The siren's going off now, can you hear it?
Yeah.
That's that. That's dark. That's bad. After all I'd been through. Don't do that. And senior officers lying in their statements about me. Lying about how it occurred. Lying about everything. And the role as a FLO, family liaison officer, has to have two people for that purpose. Why throw one person in a lion's den to be slaughtered? Because they had a game. It's like chess, isn't it? Battleships. Pop. We need him gone. Gary Speed. Barry Burnell. Bad egg here. Might know too much. Knows a lot. Knows a lot what's going on. Get him out. And they did. And the panel and the inquiries and fucking all of it, my Fed rep, who I still speak to now, said in 30 years he has never known anything quite like the way I was treated. Never. So much more, Tim. But I lost my job. And do you know what? Just before I lost my job, and this is where the spirit side comes in, and this is where I had my first little awakening, because in 2015, a medium came from nowhere, out of the blue, to my ex and said to her, I need to come to your house, just bought a new house, something really important. So she went, oh, okay. And I went to McDonald's. I said, right, well, he's come to see you, just have a chat and I'll go to McDonald's. She rings me up when he's there. Andy, you need to come back. He said, it's for you.
What's the guy's name, the medium's name?
I can't remember his name, but he lives in, I know he lives in Hamforth Way. And he'd not done anything for quite some time. And he just said he'd got this
message.
Yeah, to come. So he stood there in the kitchen and he turns around and he said, I'll tell you now, Andy, I don't know anything about you, but when I came down the drive, there was a woman on the front of the door, and this is where it reverts back to the start. And she was pregnant with long dark hair. She's with you.
What did you do with that information?
I was like, what the fuck? What the fuck? And it was kind of like, because I always knew I was different.
Yeah.
But I was kind of like Tim. I was going, right, okay, I'm a detective. And we still fucking think
Yeah,
about
get into your logical mind.
ways. I might have researched it. He might have researched, like, you know, but it wasn't out there. It was only the murder that was just in the local paper. So, right, okay. And he goes, and there's somebody else here as well, Andy. And he's all burnt down his face. And he's called Ryan. He keeps saying Ryan Keane. And I went fucking white. And it's gospel truth. When I was 22 years of age at Crewe Alexandra, my close friends were seeing a girl, and her ex befriended him and took him out one night, but he was a jealous ex, satanic, and they set him alight and killed him. And he was called Ryan Keane.
Fucking hell.
And I went, fuck. Now that's fucking real. And then he said, and he's telling me Barry's dead. It's like that. And he's going like this. And I'm going, Barry. And I was just thinking Barry Bennell. Is fucking Barry Bennell dead? That'd be fucking ace. Like fucking in the head. And no. I did some research afterwards, and lo and behold, the man that murdered Ryan was called Barry. And it was in the paper that he was in a van and a steel rod had gone right through his fucking head and killed him. Can't make that up. So I was like, fucking hell. So he said afterwards to me, he said, you've got a gift. You've got one powerful gift. And what I'm going to tell you is eventually you're going to blow something that's massive later in life. And it's going to be bigger than anything. And I'd said to him that I was then speaking to a journalist to do this. He went, no, it's far bigger than that. It's far bigger. And that's what he said to me. He said, you really need to tap in because they're talking to you. So for a short period I did, and I started hearing the voices, and they were like, I'm going, am I going a bit...
How are you tapping into it? Are you just open to it?
Just open, and I was just asking.
You're not doing any meditation or anything?
No, I was just asking. He said, sit in a corner, sit in a quiet room, and just ask. And so I started doing that. And
That's meditation, really, isn't it?
Yeah. So I was starting to get this, and I didn't know what I was doing, but I just left it, and then I broke this story, and everything went out the window.
How did you break the story?
Because I'd been to see a therapist, and I was losing, obviously, my job, and I was going, I'm fucking, this is wrong. Everything was wrong. Everything was wrong about my job. Everything was wrong about Crewe. Everything was wrong about through my life, my relationships. And I was going, well, this is all wrong. I shouldn't be stood here like this, broken by all of that. That wasn't my fault. Yeah, it's my own free will and bad decisions and, love and stuff like that. But I've got a good heart. I didn't deserve any of that shit. So I was going to write it down, and I ended up meeting Danny Taylor, and Danny Taylor said after about 2 hours with him, I know he started yet to him with the stuff, but he just said, I need to lie down, Andy. This is too much for me. And he come back and he said, right, he said, this is powerful. Have you thought about doing an article? And I just went, not really, but I need people to know, and I know there's so many more out there. And I said, there's hundreds, Danny. He went, no. I said, there's probably thousands. And I said, there's probably more than that in child abuse. And he was going, no. And put the paper out, and I was trending above Trump on that morning. And it just blew.
Remember that?
16th of November, 2016.
Wow.
And then it didn't take long for the BBC to get me. Following day, whoosh, we want you in. Interview. Victoria, Derbyshire, live. So I went, okay. Little did I know, that was the start. Let's get him. Let's put our arms around him. Or let's put our fence around him. We're the BBC. I was naive, I didn't know. I just wanted it to get out there so other people would see, oh, it's Woody. Oh, it's Andy. fucking hell. Yeah, if he's done it, then I'll do it. That was the whole purpose of it.
Yeah.
Couldn't give a fuck about TV, even to this day. Couldn't give a fuck about, me, TV and stuff like that. I'll speak in front of fucking 100,000 people and tell the truth. That's one of my gifts. I have no fear of that. People are frightened, aren't they? And they go on podcasts and they get all nervous. I don't. This is what one of my gifts. So I was like, yeah, put me on live TV. I'll do it. And but what it was to set me up. It's to get me in. And I know what they are at the very top there. Oh, I've been on a journey with them. And I can't wait one day. And they can't stop me. They won't stop me. They've tried. They've tried everything. They all have. To tell the truth about that. But yeah, I went on there, and even Victoria Derbyshire, when I've watched it back, oh my goodness, was I a boy on there? Oh, I like a 10-year-old boy in an adult body. And I'm saying the story, and I'm talking like this. I'm going, yeah, and this happened to me. And I just want other people to help me. I just want to reach out to them. And then she dropped a low baller in, Tim, and she went, so, tell me, is it right that he had a relationship with your sister? Imagine that. Right. Live on fucking TV.
Right.
What? So you're going to throw that one at me? You see me, I go, I'd rather not talk about that. Now I'm like, fucking what? Talk about throwing straight bullseye. Have that. And then the week after, everybody had come out, Tim. It was just floodgates. I opened a floodgate. And then it's on I was on news at 6, news at 10, every day for 3 weeks. It was headlines. I was doing interviews everywhere. Dan Rowan, fucking BBC, CNN, Amanda Davis, fucking CNN. I was doing it all. I was doing everything because I was like, fuck this, you ain't stopping me now. And in 2 days, it was the FA. Andy, we want to invite you to the FA. Greg Clark wants to meet you. And I was going, wow, they're going to actually embrace me and I can do something great holistically for the future of football. And I'm like going, yes, this is brilliant. So all the videos of me marching into Wembley and they're going, right, let's get the recordings on. We're going to fucking destroy this man. The new old Sky News, ITV, BBC were all outside on Wembley Way waiting for me in a row. And I've gone in, please help me. Please. There's more. And guess what? I even told them then that I'd been abused by somebody else, another coach there. Help me. He needs to stop because he's at a football club. Because I was sexually assaulted by somebody else there at that club. Never did anything about it because I just couldn't, it was too much. And I feel sorry for the lad because he never got a conviction because he was on his own, bless him. That's one of my guilts. Because I should have carried on with that because he should be in jail, that man. I'm not going to name him, but yeah. So yeah, and Greg Clark's hugging me and all that. I come out and I go, hey, world, the FA it said they're going to help me. They're going to help Andy. And they're upstairs going, Jim, we've done it. Let's send him out. Did they fucking help me? What? Not me. Because I'm a truther. I didn't swallow their pill. I never will swallow their pill, Tim. And I know who has. You've got your Paul Stewarts, your David Whites, your Ian Ackleys, all victims of, victims of child abuse, working under their canopy umbrella of the FA, the PFA, the Football League, the FIFA, We need to stop this, man. He's getting quite powerful. And the pinnacle was when I go to Brazil and the world's best player of all time, Pele, invites me to Brazil to see his children. And the only media that wanted to come was Sky News. They were brilliant. Sally Lockwood. They went, we'll come. We'll get a team. We'll fly over and film it. And you can see it. You'll see me out there. And did a talk at Palmeiras. Did a talk at Santos. They treated me like a god there.
Wow.
I went into the Pelé Museum. All the 58 World Cup players were there for me. And I'm hugging them. Thank you. Pelé couldn't go, only because he'd started with his cancer then. The president of Santos giving me a book, a Pelé shirt that's still out there that unfortunately I left behind because it was just mayhem. There was ESPN cameras there videoing me, blah, 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 interview. I was so grateful, just wanted to help the children. They took me to the favela, played football with them. Went to see all the kids, I'm hugging them, and I'm like, fucking hell, I can change this. I can make a difference, Tim. Do you know what I mean? I'm like, at a pinnacle. Fucking, you can fuck off, FA and PFA and every one of you. This is what matters, children. And all you other cackle that I set up a charity and I had the world's press there, Tim. I had, in the Midland, you can watch it after this, I had the world's press there. It was live on ITV, Channel 4, BBC, Sky, CNN, and they're all there. Rows of them. All interviewing me. I had mics right the way across the table. So what's your vision, Andy? Well, I want to change things. I really want to make a difference. I want a holistic solution. I want to help people with mental health. I want to help children. I want to stop young players coming through and, just being thrown off a cliff. I want to do this. I want to do that. I had all these visions, Tim, loads of them. They were spinning in my head because I'm a clever man. I was a cop. I've been through it all. I've read that many books on mental health and anxiety, panic, you name it. I know it all. And they're all there, and lo and behold, me being soft. Before it, I was with the solicitors and I didn't know, but I fucking know now. One of them was Ed Smethurst. He dealt with the McCann case. Bit of corruption. And out of the blue, ex-players come in, and it was Paul Stewart and David White, and I know it was witnessed by solicitors, so I know it's the truth. And they threatened me before I went up there. Don't you bring Manchester City into this? And why can't we be a part of it? I'm going, fucking hell, you're making me ill. Popped a tablet, a diazepam, because I was on them then, because I'm like, fucking like that. Walking to the Midland, me on my own, going, fuck this. I've got to now go and speak to the world's press, panicking. And you'll see me, I'm like, ooh. And a month later, my mum looked on Company's House, Tim, and she went, Andrew, you won't believe it. I said, what? She said, they've pulled you from it. You're not part of the offside trust. I went, what? How can they do that? Plug pulled, gone. I could have gone to the press then. I could have made it massive to say what they'd actually done. But I wanted justice, and I wanted Bennell sent down for life because he ruined ours. He ruined mine and my sister's, my mum and dad's. And then it gets worse too as well, because that all was happening, but the BBC had got a stranglehold over me because they said, we'll make a film about you.
Right, okay.
We love you. Hugging me in the Richard Attenborough suite. We're going to make a film for you. Fucking what?
Yeah.
Got a lot to answer for, a lot of them. And so I was broken. But then I was advised by everyone, don't say anything. I said, they fucking broke my heart. I was in the world's press there, and they broke my heart. How can they do something like that? Dark side. Pill swallowers. Whatever's gone on. One day I'll get to the bottom of it. Whatever went on there was something. Because how can you have the world's press there? Then you get pulled from it for no reason. And then the chink in the armour, somebody came from nowhere and started posting on the internet that I'm a rapist. Andy Woodward, sacked from the police. He's a rapist. 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 I'm seeing all this and I'm going, you what? No, I'm not. And I've proved it. So I'm telling everyone I'm going to go fucking big with this. No, Andy, don't. BBC. Don't, Andy. Don't say anything. Silence is better.
Yeah, might ruin the film.
Might ruin everything. So guess what Andy did? As he always does.
Keep quiet.
Okay. I won't say anything. So I've had that kept inside me all that time. And I'm going, it's bad enough somebody posts whatever, but that ruined me again. And I went on a downward spiral after that. So I did the Brazil thing, and then I started getting followed. Then and my friend does photographs and everything, started getting followed wherever I went, they were there. And I was like, for fuck's sake, will you leave me alone? Even some of them were actually laughing and they were smiling. And I've even had conversations with them, Tim, and gone, fuck off, will you? Just doing our job, Andy. Sorry. It got really deep. But that was because I went to Brazil. I had Pele right there. He was like that. Go on, Andy. And then he ruined me. Tim, they ruined me. And then I turned to drink. BBC never contacted me. They stretched it all out. Fucking you name it. I wrote a book. They took half of that out. The PR, again, was shite. Just all fucking glass. It's all fucking bravado. Just touching enough to make it disappear. And that independent review that Charles did, who is now high up in the judges' chambers because the king gave it to him, that's an absolute disgrace in history. And I know many people that have the same opinion about that, because the FA, the inquiry, all of it, Post Office, you can just name a load, can't you? If it's the biggest scandal in sporting history in football, football is the most powerful sport on the land. And it's also very powerful above. Who owns Manchester City? Who owns all those football clubs? And why would they fly all the staff out to Abu Dhabi when I broke the story? And actually, I know this was said. What are we going to do with Andy Woodward? What? It's deep stuff in it, Tim.
Fucking blow my head, mate.
Deep stuff.
Deep stuff, but underneath all this, mate, what keeps you going? What's the vision that just keeps you going?
I think the thing is with me is
because so it doesn't happen to any other child.
Yeah. Yes, it's all the core purpose, and when we look at the core of us, we've got a spine. We're a mechanical body, aren't we?
Yeah.
But people talk about chakras and
the root chakra,
roots,
yeah,
and everything evolves around roots.
Yeah.
Because the floor we stand on is energy. Above us is energy. And then it's like a tree, we've got a core spine. And there's some people that are spineless, aren't they? And I've got a strong spine. My body sometimes feels like it's broken, but I know it'll fix itself. And the main things that we have in our bodies, in us, and each person has this, and we have a brain, we have eyes, we need vision. We don't have to have vision to see. They say about the third eye.
Yeah.
The third eye is our visual vision of this planet. And then we have a heart. And the heart, they say, love. And it beats. and it's a muscle. No, it's not a muscle. It's got electrical currents through it that empathise, that brings out energy to others. And you can actually blast it that far. You can walk in a room with a kind heart, and you can touch people's feelings.
Yeah.
And then we've got our brain. And our brain is then connected to what we think and how we get our downloads, or what we get in meditation states and stuff like that.
Yeah, crown chakra.
Yeah. And then you've got your gut, and your gut is your little organ there. It tells you.
Yeah.
Why do we feel sick sometimes when we see someone or a place, a thing, a smell? We go, oh shit.
Yeah.
That's all you need. You need to breathe, but those mechanisms are linked as one, and they just flow like that.
Yep.
And the energy comes from below and from above, and we try and balance. We can go off and left or right, bump, or bump. But if that tree has the branches that it has, we sometimes go off piste, but it's how far we go on that branch, because that branch does end somewhere. And if you take it to the end and you drop, you're in that dark place, darkness. But sometimes we can get things wrong without intent, and we can just try and bring back to that chakra.
That alignment.
The trees say a lot. They hear us. They breathe. That's why they're so strong. That's why they got branches.
Yeah.
That's why they dance.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
A lot to be said about a tree.
So you know inside that you've got to.
Yes.
This is just what you've got to be doing.
It's in my DNA. I signed up for this without knowing. I've had past lives. I know. I've been here before.
Let me talk to you, mate, about like your biggest cathartic message that you've got, or that point where you've tapped into the spiritual side now for that healing.
For the healing, yeah.
Yeah.
Because I had a spiritual awakening, and, you know, it gets deep. It gets deep because I was going to expose everything that had happened to me. And my partner, Kelly, and she was spiritually gifted, and she came to save me, actually. And with all that, it gets really deep, because I had my awakening then. Little did I know that 3 months later she'd be taken.
What?
27th of February 2021, she left our home, and I said that she wasn't safe. And she had a fear of baths, actually. How ironic's that? She had a fear of baths because back as a young child, she was in the Bolton area, and she didn't know it, but a spiritual awakening told her that she was actually raped in a bath by Masonic, Freemasonry, Jimmy Savile type of shit. And her life had been the same as mine. And we'd come together in 2017 to do a project which she'd worked tirelessly on, about helping children, save the world with children. And she used to go around Bolton in a pink car, and she was called the Positivity Princess. She was beautiful, most beautiful soul you could ever meet. Harmless, gifted. She got thrown. There's those police again. Funny that, isn't it? Most gifted soul. Gifted. And she'd had an awakening, and they told her she was mental. She wasn't mental. And her dad, they said her dad committed suicide, but she wasn't having that. She said, nah, not having this. I've been told. No, it's not right. And she got a second opinion, and they said it was impossible that he'd hung himself off a tree. So she was fighting. She had fight. She was like, fuck you. I'm going to prove this. So she was fighting the cause, and she wouldn't give in. And there was a few incidents in December. She'd saved me. And then on the 8th of December, 2020, I was out in the car, and I've never known anything quite like it. I've never experienced it. You've heard me talk, you've heard me, I'm intellectual, I'm intelligent, I'm open to stuff. But I was put in this car and I saw my whole life in front of me, and I didn't realise how long I'd been in the car. But apparently it was over 2 hours, driving around in circles. I saw my whole past in front of me, from Woodward to streets with Smith, because that's where my family heritage is
Like
from.
a divine intervention.
Like an intervention, like you've never... I didn't ask for it. I was having panic attacks in the car. I'd not had them for years, and just something happened. And I got back, and Kelly was laughing. She went, "Oh, what's happened?" And I went, "I don't fucking know, but something has." My fucking hair was stood up. And my life changed then. And we ended up going to York, of all places, because she said she didn't feel safe where she was. And she thought that something was going to happen. And we ended up in Halifax, and I was in fear for her, because I said to her, "Be careful, be careful." She went, "No, I'll be all right." And she was driving. She said she was going to see her mum. She never come home. She never returned. And they said, the coroner in Bolton said, and they said that she'd poisoned herself. And if she did, she wouldn't have left me in the state that I was in. No, nothing. And she was due to see her mum. And I can't, I'm a detective. What I can't, this piece is missing out of the jigsaw. Big ones. And one of the main ones, Tim, is this, that if any person dies on this planet, an officer by law has to require or request a statement or an account of the last person to see that person alive. And that was me. To this day now, I've never given a statement. I've never given an account. I don't know why. But that is law. Instead, 2 years later, I get 2 police officers turn up at my mum's to issue me with a warrant to attend Bolton Coroner's Court to give evidence about her coroner's verdict. I never knew. I didn't know what was going on. And an interested party in a coroner's verdict is by law has the right to see the files, has the right to seek legal advice. I never got that. Again, Tim, in my life, I was thrown in the lion's den. And barrister blaming me for her death. The woman I loved. Then when it was her funeral, and 24 hours after football's darkest secret, it's funny, isn't it? It says darkest secret, that I featured in, Tim. I was in it. And the BBC knew that I'd just lost Kelly. She was dead. No support, nothing. They put it on BBC. I'm going deep here, Tim, because I've never spoke about this, but it's time. That aired 3-part documentary that they wouldn't let me be in until the last minute, and then he threw me in there. All the other players, the wonderful ones, the ones that took my charity off me, took everything off me, were all featured in the houses, and the parents and the mums and the dads. Did my mum get to do anything? No. Did he ask my sister to be a part of it? No. He just dragged me in last minute. Oh, we can't have it without Andy. Let's just throw him in there. 3-part doc. And I watched it. Bear in mind, I just lost Kelly. She's dead. I'm sat there, and I said to my friend, and she was worried. She said, they're going to come for you, Andy. They're going to get you. This is my friend. And she goes, I'm so frightened, they're going to get you. And I went, I know. I know it's coming. But I didn't know what. Because I had detectives from Bolton. I had a death threat. They were telling me a serious death threat. I had detectives, some weird officers from nowhere, ring me up and wanted to meet me in a car park. We need to see you. I don't know who you are. Why should I meet you? What, are you going to bundle me in a boot and take me away? I didn't know Tim. And then 24 hours after it, bear in mind I'd had my spiritual awakening. So I was protected. I knew it was coming. And there were some files I had. I was told to get rid of them. So I did. I didn't know what was going to come, but I knew something was coming. And then...
Get the downloads and get rid of the files.
Get rid of them, move them. I'd had a message off somebody, which I'm not going to name right now, 24 hours after the death. Where are those files? I want them. I'm not giving them you. I didn't say that, but fuck that. So 24 hours after Tim, 7 cops, 3 doctors. Boof! Storm my friend's house where I was. Huh! We're sectioning you. Psychosis.
Sure.
Swear down. My friend's in tears. They take her, honestly, she'll tell the story. Take her, fucking push her into the back room. There is, like a split in a house, like 2 rooms. I had 5 police officers. I'm sat in the lounge with my legs crossed. I just watched the football. 5 police officers, all like that. You can see I can laugh about it now, but it broke my heart. But I knew something was coming because I'd got it. And they're there, staring at me. And then I hear, in the background, 2 others walk in, because I can hear their feet. And they go upstairs. And I can hear them upstairs. Do you need a search warrant normally, don't you, if you're going to search someone's house?
I've heard.
They're up there. Going through my bedroom, where I was. And I'm going, right, okay. Then they go, yeah, we're sectioning you. My 2 sisters, bless them, they turned up. They weren't allowed to see me. Off he goes. Bang! Straight into an ambulance. And take me Stepping Hill. When I get there, ring my sister. You need to come. I'm here. They then grab me, take my phone off me, grab me, and I wasn't doing anything. Grab me, and then frog march me up the stairs. And as I'm going up the stairs, I hope, we have hope, that recording one day will be shown. Because that officer, bear in mind, they'd just taken my liberty, taken everything from me after all I've been through, I've gone through on this podcast. And he turned around and went, you won't be having a barbecue this weekend, will you? But I will. And laughed at me and just went, poof, in you go. I'd done nothing. I'd actually accepted what they'd said. I'd said, fair enough, you've got me. Didn't kick off, didn't say anything, didn't swear. But to say that as you're going up the stairs, now that's dark, Tim. That's like something off Star Wars, you know. I mean, they are just what they call the fucking stormtroopers. When we talk about Star Wars, they're just stormtroopers. We're doing as we are told. But to say that, that's a low baller. Poof. He kept me in there. 28 days.
28 days.
Oh, that's what I was... Yeah, Section 2. Section 2. Psychosis. And I was right onto it, appealed straight away. And my friend's ringing up every morning. How fucking dare you? I'm going to go to the press. I was the only one in there that wasn't allowed a phone call, wasn't allowed anyone to see me. No visitors, by the way, either. I wasn't even allowed at the shops. Yet there was seriously mentally ill people in there that I saw. And I saw something in there. I was like, you know, Jack Nicholson in One Flew Over the Cuckoo's Nest. That was me in there. I was sane. All the staff said I was sane. It's from above. We can't do anything, Andy. You shouldn't be in here. Weren't allowed at the shops yet. They were allowed visits to the shop. Go to the shop and get your stuff. I had to have a nurse to get my stuff. Wrong. Don't do that. You don't do that, Tim. And you hear of this all the time, don't you? And people will say, nah, it's just something in a film. Well, no, this is truth. This happened to me. And I've never lost my sanity. I have a gift in terms of my spirituality, but it's more than that. I've had an enlightening, like other people are starting to come out more and more now about their, you've seen it, it's started to grow. And I was told all this, that there's these, it's like catalysts and the caterpillars, and then people will start to fly like butterflies, and they're starting. And I'm watching it, and I've had loads predicted, I've had loads. I was even told in 2021 that Trump would obviously come back in power, but also he would actually work with Elon Musk. I mean, I can go really deep. I know loads of stuff that you can't even predict, but I've been kept silent for a reason. I don't say it, but doing that is wrong. And more than that is, guess when it was? Right in the middle when it was Kelly's funeral. Ooh.
To break even more.
And think about it, Tim. If I've been locked up saying I've got psychosis, what credibility do I have as a human being for any justice, for anything whatsoever? And thought, right, you've got me.
It's unbelievable, mate, this story. Isn't it?
I know. And I did a film within all that with the BBC, and they trailed that for, they made me stick it out for 5 years, told them I was going to commit suicide. Oh, that's another one I did. I actually did do this. This is before me a lightning. I think it was about 2017, 18. And I told Grant Best, great guy, Grant. He's mortified because Grant did Rio Ferdinand's documentary, and great man. And so is Tom Watt, who wrote my book. Both beautiful people trying to do the good for me.
Yeah.
And they're still my friends now, and they know what they've done to me. And Grant, you know, he's done some big projects. He was head of BT Sport, and I met him for a curry just a few weeks back. And he said to me, he said, you were right, Andy. He said, they destroyed you. And they destroyed me as well. He's referring to the BBC. But he has guilt because he kept saying to me, just go with it, go with it. They're going to do it. But they didn't. They said that we were going to put it out globally. You know, I even had, listen to this, Tim. I even had, you can't even make it up. I even had a record label for my film. A London one, and then it was linked to New York, like big stuff. And the record label would have been about music around helping others, you know, lifting the spirit and see the film and connect with it in a good way. And the BBC, and it was going to be for my dad's charity. Here's another quick story for you. 10 minutes, so you see about Satanic, and I'm not sure, I can't say it on here, but the BBC met me in Macclesfield to tell me that they were going to do the film, Tim. I get into my car 10 minutes later, and I got a missed call off my mum. My dad had motor neurons disease, and he was doing all right. He just started to get the plug in his stomach, but he was doing all right. He was eating well and everything else. And she rang me, and I rang her back, and my dad had dropped dead. My dad had dropped dead whilst the BBC were telling me that they were going to do a film. So call it what you want, but when it came to do my film, the BBC, I had a record label, and they'd even they were going to design a full sleeve both sides for, get emotional, for my family, for my dad, for my mum, for my sisters, and for me. And it was going to be for my dad's charity, and I was going to raise loads of money for it. And the BBC said, no. And when I challenged them after, they smirked at me in that room, and I said, I will come for you one day. I will come for your institute, because you're wrong how you've treated me. Whilst I did the screenplay, I was drained to fuck, Tim. So I go into Manchester and have a drink. Lo and behold, fucking didn't know, but I was in the gay village, and some guy fucking feels me. And there'll be a police record for that. And I rang the cops, and I'm going, fucking help me. I went through torture to make that film. And then 1 year later, it's gone. And not only did they plug it off the BBC, but it was on, do you know the sticks? You could watch it. Oh no, they've pulled that as well. You can't even see it anywhere on the planet. And it helps people. It's gone. Disappeared. Fucking what? Mental, innit? Mental.
Yeah.
And I want to do something now for Andy, but it's not for me. I'm always for others. I'm spiritually gifted.
Yeah.
And I've not really gone into that, but I have. I know my path. I know my purpose. Anything I try and do, Tim, whether it's on social media, any of them, I try and speak to a journalist. They all know me. I've spoke to them in last few years. Can I tell my truth? They meet me. They go and see the bosses, and it's no, can't do it. I go down a different avenue. Block. I even met a guy, this is a good one for you, so you'll know this spiritual connection. So I get a download. I'm on a random train from London to Manchester. There's this guy opposite me. I have hundreds of these. This is a great one, this, Tim. This will show you. So I'm sat opposite him, get a download, speak to him. I'm going, why? Speak to him. So I started talking to him. He's only an American from Miami. Random. So I get chatting to him. He's only a journalist from Miami. So I got chatting, start telling him my life. I'm getting the downloads. Next to him is a Chinese guy. China features quite a lot, as you know. But I'm speaking to the American guy, and he goes, right, Andy. And I was telling him that the journalist wouldn't do anything. He goes, I'll do it. Here's my number. Let's do it. I'll do it from America. So I was like, brilliant. So I thought, can't get it out in the UK. Fucking great. Do it from there, over the pond. Let's have a go. So he's connecting with me, and I'm sending him all this stuff, and he's going, yeah. But on the train, what was significant is that, I was getting downloads laughing. They were laughing. This is great, they're saying. Do you know David Beckham? And I was like, Yeah, I grew up with him, class of 92. I played against him, I know him well. And I know Phil, because Phil Neville and Gary Neville played at Bury. It's funny how it all works, isn't it? Our path. Neville. Ooh. But, yeah. So I said, yeah. So anyway, he's in touch with me. Yeah, let's get this. I'm going to do this, blah, blah, blah. I'm going seeing David tomorrow and Phil Neville. And I went, yeah, great. Watch this. Download. Watch what happens. Bop. Next day, blocked. Never spoke to him since.
Just blocked you.
Blocked me. Blocked all contact. I went, damn. That's the truth. Got a bit of a problem, Tim. But it ain't going to stop me. Because what I've established is, you know, I even just for this.
Do you get a download to keep going?
Oh yeah. I'm
all the time.
All the time. And I'm you know, I get the darkness. But the latest stuff is now, it's about the resilience of what I am now. I can't, you know, the football, I can't fight. I can't fight that. Not one person. Jeez, you know, I shouldn't be alive. You know, there's more to it. And one day I will do a film about it. I will, because there's so many intricate details. And I'm just touching the surface here with you, Tim.
Yeah.
You know there'll be much more layers to that. Yeah. But yeah, I mean, I can't. But it's even recently, you know, I'm on social media, I'm on LinkedIn, and I'm watching it all unfold. And I've been told that this is all part of the bigger plan, the bigger picture. But I've seen all the safeguarding people following me and this, that, and the other. So I go for a job in safeguarding, just a safeguarding role. I don't know it like the back of my hand. Do I pass the paper sift? No, I don't. Bear in mind, in safeguarding, I feature in the FA's thing. Oh, that's another one. I came with a holistic solution with the FA, the Premier League, the EFL, met them in London, big fucking meeting, blah, blah, blah. Me being Andy, as I am, there's a holistic solution. Please, will you invest? No, it's not for us, Andy. A year later, I'm on BBC and I was eating actually, and I spat my fucking food out. I see Prince William and Harry talking about mental health in football. Hey, we're us two. It was mine. Thanks, Premier League. Well done, FA. Brilliant for people.
Yeah.
Don't get me wrong, Tim. It needed it. Yeah. But that was me. So I can't take that on. What I am about is positivity. You know, nobody can bring Kelly back. Yeah. Nobody can bring Gary Speed back. Nobody can bring anyone that we've lost along this journey of life. This darkness that goes deep, Tim. It goes deep. And people talk about Masonic, Freemasons, Satanic, Satan, you know, the light and the dark. Yeah, it does exist. Because you can look at history in itself. It's scientifically proven that even in the universal section of life, they've actually started now to say energies are. You know, I'm in touch with the major man in Canada that's doing an app at the moment, and he's wanting hearts to reach together through an app to feel your energy out, and it's powerful. You know, just yesterday I got sent some, and I'm like, all these people are coming from nowhere. They're like, I'm meeting this person. I'm going, thank you. But I'm not actually getting there yet. But they're there. You know, this man I know Ron Rudin how did that happen? I know Ron Rudin in New York, the creator of Havening. And Havening is something that, Paul McKenna's doing now. And it's about this and about this. Yeah. I know all about that. Yeah. How did I end up meeting him? And how did I end up on the 11th of the 11th, 11/11, and I know all my numbers as well. I am the only person, the last person in the UK he will ever do havening on. Me. He chose me. So there's some powerful force out there sending me on these paths. And that's why I'm so... And I've done all these podcasts. I've not done one like this. This is the first, Tim.
I appreciate you, mate.
Because I know I'm safe in here.
Yeah.
And I know this is spiritual. And I look at the walls of white, the people, like, live your best life. Look at all the positivity on you, you know. That's them showing me to tell you. You're on the path. We're on the path. Yeah. It's not about one person. And I know you'll have so much empathy towards me and fucking Andy, you've fucking been down the wire, you. Yeah. Because I'm here, Tim. I'm here with you and you're here with me. And this is about collaboration. This is about getting our roots together collectively and building trees because they've fucked this world up. I don't care who they are because they're far higher than what we see on the surface. You see the king in his palace and, oh yes, well done. But there's something far bigger than that behind. But they don't show the faces. You know, I'm not religious, but I have faith. I believe. Yeah. I have faith, Tim.
Yeah.
I have faith.
Trust in the process. Trust
in this. Fucking hell, I've had 40 years of it. I'm still here and, you know, at the moment I'm feeling a lot of dark energy out there.
Yeah.
A lot. And it takes us. You know, I need to go away. And I know I need to go away and cleanse. Because although I am, you can see me, I'm like, fuck off. You know, I'm like, fucking come on. When are we going to go?
Yeah.
But it's also tiring.
Yeah, I think too, you kind of sit in a forceful nature, don't you, when you're in that, you like, but it's not sustainable, a forceful nature. You need to sit in power.
That's right.
Which is, you know, obviously what you've got there, but in order to do that, you've almost got to detox, cleanse.
It is a detox.
Yeah.
And I know, you know, I go to the sound baths and there's a beautiful one just in, where is it? Just near Bury. And I know a few of the ladies there, they've literally just gone away because they feel it.
Yeah.
I was one in Portugal and I kind of know when I'm drained. Yeah. It's like a battery.
Yeah.
Do you know when it gets corroded or it starts to get fucking tired?
Yeah.
And it's not tired that I don't want to keep going because I will. But I know the energy, the darkness. And this where we live now, it's called the United Kingdom. United Kingdom. You know, it's a very powerful island, this.
Yeah.
I think it's probably one of the last one that's there's a lot of defences out there.
Yeah.
They didn't protect this country, did they, from the Vikings and, you know, everything for nothing. There's a lot to be said, and I know an awful lot. And I know about the ley lines, and I know about what's going on, and I know all that. And I could go on and on. You could have another podcast with
me. We'll do another podcast about
with
that.
All that, because I do know it all.
Stuff,
And I know all this beautiful stuff, Tim.
Yeah.
And I promise you, my friend Andy, he's got Matrix Media. You see the Matrix, you know, I've been shown I could show you sometime all the photographs of Keanu Reeves and everywhere I've gone, and I've gone into an apartment once and Keanu Reeves was there and I've gone, fuck you, now, are you really doing this to me? Really? And they're like, yeah, because you're on this, you're in it, you are in it. But then I have to step into...
Yeah, I don't want your gift, mate. Fucking hell.
And then
because the gift's so powerful on the light side.
Yeah. Or the
dark.
I wouldn't wish it on you, mate.
Yeah. I wouldn't want
but
it.
But I think also when you think about my path of life and what my survival techniques just in the real world, how you looked at me before and you said, how the fuck have you survived that?
Yeah.
How the fuck are you still here? That was my learning process. And me breaking the story wasn't a coincidence. I broke the biggest story that hit the fucking world in sport. And in the core, whoever doesn't listen to it, in the core of this earth that we live on, there is one predominant core problem. And it is dark. And it is about, you see, babies and children are such an asset to humanity. Because when a baby is born, it is a free spirit.
Yeah.
It has to be altered.
Pure light power. Yeah.
It has to be altered. So the word of abuse, whether that's from day 1 or 2, 3, 4, 10, adolescence, it has to be altered by dark infiltration of some dial has to change. And that's the core of humanity, because when we're in adulthood, all of our behaviours are shown which path we go down. It alters our path. We're going right or we're going left. Or we're going to try and stay central. But we've got a choice. We've got free will. But all that work's been done. Powerful stuff, innit?
Fucking yeah, mate. Yeah, really powerful. Look, if anybody wants to follow you on social media, mate,
Yeah.
how can people get hold of you?
Yeah,
How
I
can
mean,
they follow you?
it's just my name, really.
Right.
It doesn't get me anywhere, Tim, and I know that. I'm wise to that. I mean, I'm just building a website, which, you know, it's andywoodward.org,
Yeah.
but with that, it's only just starting. And I know this is it's new beginnings, and, you know...
Phoenix from the ashes.
It is.
Yeah.
It is. It is. It's like the acorn and the roots. The roots have already set.
Yeah.
They've already set here on this earth. It's already done. And, you know, there is a power above us, you and I, and any human. You see, you can be Donald Trump and, you know, he's like a bit of a robot. You know, he gets told downloads and, you know, he believes in it all, doesn't he?
Yeah.
It's funny, isn't it?
Yeah.
It's funny, you know, his background's from Scotland as well.
Yeah,
Smith.
yeah, it's his wife as well. Isn't
Yeah,
she? She's
Smith, isn't it?
Yeah,
And guess where my heritage is? Smith.
really.
There's a lot to be said about Scotland as well.
Yeah, my granddad's was Scottish.
Yeah, Celtic.
Yeah, yeah,
It's mad, innit?
yeah. Bit of Viking going on as well.
Viking. And do you know what? When I was travelling up here on the A66, you'll see it. And this is true. Before, I was asking. I was going, is this all right? Because it's the A666, isn't it? You see, Bolton is quite a lot dark here. And as I'm travelling along,
It's on that back street, mate.
this'll blow you. This. So you've just told me that about Viking,
Yeah.
and I kid you not, you'll see it. And there's a sign, and there's a security firm called Viking.
Yeah.
They said that's where you're going. That's powerful, isn't it?
Yeah, do you want me to tell you something else just before we wrap up? So
Yeah.
I went to see a healer at the weekend.
Yeah.
Mate, she's next level. Been doing it nearly 40 years.
Yeah.
She's like legit.
Yeah.
So she put me in the healing and she
Yeah.
said, look, and I came out and she said, Tim, I just want to let you know that you've been holding on to some ancestral stuff because you used to be a Viking and you went to another village and you murdered and you like took all everything and you came back to your village and they'd done the same thing to yours and you went on your knees and said, what is the point in all this? And you've carried that on.
Yeah. And there's no coincidence with the way. Do you see your piercing blue eyes?
Yeah.
Do you know the Viking series? We're first, because I've seen you on there.
Yeah, yeah.
But I can see your soul.
Yeah, yeah.
You're deep. And there's no coincidence why you've got your beard. Why your hair is the way it is. Because what we're living in now, we're living in 2025.
Yeah.
But you were here before. as that.
When she told me, I was like, I already know this, but I didn't know that, and I'm just like, it just fucking. I'm like, what?
Yeah.
She honestly makes me next level.
That's brilliant.
Yeah.
Freaking hell. I must meet her. Yeah. She'll have to freaking...
I'll give you a number. She's not on Facebook or anything, but she says, look, if you want to recommend it to people that like really resonate, I'll give you a number, mate. Beautiful. She's only in Lee.
Wow.
So she's not far, but just like some of the things she said, it was just saying to me that you've got a lot of there's a web around you, Tim.
Yes.
And each one of them's like a light, and you bring all this light together.
Yeah, absolutely. And that's the things that I've seen about you, and I don't know an awful lot about you, but then Big Dan, who I know through, and that's, again, he's from Bury. Yeah. Bury is a club that I played for. So everything links and all the dots, but it's like with me, a very start with my Lightning for 4 years and 5 months now, but it was said to me about the web. This is a web that we're in. Yeah. And, Peter Parker and Spider-Man, fucking hell, they got me to get, like, picture frames of Spider-Man, and they're saying, like, about the energy, like the kryptonite with Superman. And that's what it feels like, my energy. When I'm gone, I've gone. I can be in bed for days. I'm going, fucking hell. Yeah. Do you know what I mean, man?
Same with me, mate.
But people do, and now I feel so much safer now. Because I couldn't tell a soul. And bear in mind, they throw me in the hospital as well, so I couldn't speak out. Yeah. But now it feels like there's more of us. We are here.
There's loads of us, and there's a big web of light energy, and I'm just like, I just know loads of people, mate, with the same beautiful, pure, and you're around her, I'm just like, I don't even say anything.
No, you don't, do you? No, it's like, it's just great. As soon as I saw them and walked in, and I was like, boom.
Thank you, mate. Appreciate you. We'll be definitely keeping in touch. We're definitely doing a second podcast. We'll go a bit more beautiful on the next one.
Yeah. Well, I mean, that's sort of like the backstory, the dark stuff. But the good stuff, we can chat away and go deep into it and bounce off. Yeah.
Thanks for listening, everybody. Goodbye.
Tim Marner, what? You're branded with the best. Tim Marner, what? You're branded with the best. Tim Marner, what? You're branded with the best. Tim Marner, what? You're branded with the best.